gentlemen, believe it or not, I have infiltrated the Star Destroyer, and I've got the one and only Ahnaldt101 with me on the video today. What's going on, Arnold?
Man, you keep sending this transmission. We keep trying to deny it. And then finally we open it up, and it's House Fan Han sending Babu Frik memes. I'm like, all right, this guy's got my attention. It's time to make a video with him again. That's great being back, everybody.
Yeah, so it's been too long. We've had the requests, and here we are finally doing a video. And I just got to say, this is a video you guys are going to need to be careful with. If you have not seen Rise of Skywalker yet, I would recommend you watch this after you see the movie, because we're going to talk about the top 10 characters after seeing Rise of Skywalker we want to see in this game. And with a lot of these characters, it's going to involve spoilers as to what happened with those characters, etc. And I think both of us can agree our favorite character is Babu Frik. He may or may not end up on this list.
I hope he gets awards for best lead role in Rise of Skywalker. He made the movie. The movie would not be the same without him.
Would you nominate him for an Oscar? I would.
Oh, 100%. Him and Baby Yoda are going to get Oscars this year.
Dude, Baby Yoda, I did not think that anybody could possibly upstage Baby Yoda. But Babu did it.
Challenging him. That's a challenge right there.
The Mad Lad freaking did it. Coach. All right, starting with character 1, Snap Wexley. Now, a big reason why you mentioned this to me earlier. I actually missed this in the Q&A, but the devs mentioned there's only, 10 things that they're bringing out from Rise of Skywalker, including ships?
They said about less than 10 things, or no more than 10 things. Of course, maybe things could change. That was back in November, October. And keep in mind, we have a Rey Kylo confirmed. Then we had Hux, Sith Trooper, new Fins. We're at 5 characters already. So maybe about only 4 more things to come. Maybe if they'll be successful, they'll release more stuff, but it seems like they're pretty set on what they're coming out with.
I'm really hoping that was their plan then, and then after seeing the movie, they're hyped on bringing more.
Or maybe it doesn't include reworks, maybe maybe they're going to do. They said no first order reworks of any sort.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe Resistance, or maybe the big guy. We could talk about that.
Maybe the big guy. Yeah, we'll talk about him. But I feel like Snap, if we're only going to get 5 more, he's probably not going to make the list.
Yeah.
But hopefully they expand. Now, he obviously died in the movie, which is kind of why I want to see him. And he's related to Wedge by marriage. And so I feel like he's a character that would be nice to have in the game. He's not super central, but if you've read the books, you probably have a little bit more of a connection to Snap. But I don't know. I think they could add more than 10. I mean, I don't know about you, but it feels like the movie was pretty well received for the most part. I mean, you liked it, right?
Fans loved it. Fans loved it. Critics hated it, which is the kind of reviews I like to see.
Yeah.
When I saw the bad critic reviews, I'm like, all right, the fan reviews are going to be good then. And it's kind of turning out that way. I think the movie is good. It's not my favorite movie. It's not my most hated movie. It's definitely maybe gets the top 5. I don't know.
Okay.
It's nowhere in the not top 3 for sure. But it was okay. I would have changed the ending a little bit.
I put it about, when I ranked them, I put it right in the middle. I really liked it. And here's the thing: is some people thought, "Wow, you ranked it that low." I'm like, dude, it's Star Wars. All of these movies are good.
You can't beat The Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that. So that's kind of different. Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith. No one's gonna replace those from anytime soon.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I was listening to Revenge of the Sith on my way home from Mobile Gamer's house. I was just listening to it to pass the time, because we got them so easily accessible on Disney Plus, and I was like holding back tears. That movie is so depressing, man. It's so sad.
That's what I love about it.
All right, we got to get to number 9 on the list, and that is Lando Calrissian. We've already got the veteran smuggler, veteran Chewie in here. Why don't we just make a vet faction and throw Lando in there?
I want him to have the pimp costume he had on that Forbidden Valley thing. He had like the robot helmet on. He looked pretty awesome with that on. He had the little portable crossbow in his hand.
Well, and they got an opportunity too to add yet another Falcon into the game, right?
Yeah,
another Lando Falcon.
I think Rey took the Falcon at the end again, if I remember, when she went to Tatooine. So
she had everything. She had all the Skywalker lightsabers. She had the Falcon. She had Han's blaster.
She took everything.
She had Luke's X-wing. She's like a total hoarder. Like she got it all. Made out like a bandit.
Right? I would have liked if Lando and Chewie took the Falcon back, but that's a different story, I guess.
I kind of feel that way too. I never felt like Rey should have had the Falcon either, but anyway,
I get the temporary holding, but whatever. We
could talk about that forever. But I look, Billy D. Williams, such a classic. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see him in the game. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I knew Lando would be kind of nice.
All right, number 8.
What do we got?
We might take a crap on this one. I think both of us feel the same way. Knights of Ren.
Ah, man, talk about buzzkill. I was looking forward to that.
Such a buzzkill.
And this movie would have been fine without them. They didn't really add too much to the movie. It was like, oh, okay, they're just a bunch of cult people. Okay, all right, well, that was a waste of my time. A lot of hype. I was actually rooting for some Knights of Ren before the movie came out because it looked like they'd be kind of cool, and they did not build upon it. I'm not sure if it's a J.J. Abrams thing trying to delete Last Jedi. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with the Knights of Ren, but they could potentially, if they wanted to. There's a Knights of Ren team you could form. There's so many of them. There's like, 8 of them or something like that?
Yeah, and I feel like what I would love to see with this, even I feel the exact same way as you. I'm just like, man, they set up this really cool mystery with the Knights of Ren, and in Force Awakens, we had that vision of them, and it was like, oh, dang, these guys look so sick. And then they were just kind of there. So plot-wise, I don't care about the Knights of Ren. Yeah. But look at them. They look dope.
Cool.
They look
pretty cool.
Wouldn't you love to have a Grand Arena Knights of Ren team? I think that'd be dope. Nice, but again, if they're only bringing in 10 units, there's no way. We're not going to get a single Knights of Ren character in here.
Yeah, I think the Trooper may be the only like first order new unit we get, like in terms of like soldiers or whatever. So I'm not expecting it, but it'd be kind of cool. I was hoping for Praetorian Guards. I think Praetorian Guards would have been
I felt the same way about them. Would have been a great faction.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get it at this point. Maybe sometime down the road, but maybe not. I don't see anytime the next couple months.
We don't get nice things. We don't get nice things. We could have Praetorian Guards with disappearing weapons, right?
Oh, there we go. I like that one.
All right, next up, General Pryde. I think this could happen. General Hux, we got General Hux, and General Hux is like the worst character.
General Hux, man.
Yeah, it was when Pryde shot Hux, I literally leaned over to my wife and I was like, and that is how Disney treated Hux. They're basically just like, we don't care about you.
They basically deleted the character. His story arc was horrendous. It's like
terrible.
I get the fact that it's not like Agent Callus in the Rebels where he had more of like an internal transformation, actually switching over to the Rebellion. Hux is like, I just like Kylo to lose, and then it's like, oh god.
I mean, there's part of me
how he died. I was like, he deserves to die like that.
I wasn't mad. Part of me kind of understood the pettiness because Hux is just kind of petty character, but I didn't feel like it. Like that scene, my jaw opened in not a good way. It was like they really okay, I still love the movie, don't get me wrong, but that to me made no sense. It was not earned. Anyway, we're talking about Hux. Pryde is a great character. I thought I would have liked to see him more. I felt like, one of the weaknesses of this movie is they kind of just chucked a few things in that I didn't feel they should have. And we could get into this forever, but the sequel trilogy, even though I liked all 3 movies independently, it lacked a cohesive arc. I felt like
that's the problem. You have several directors taking the movies. That's
they should have at least coordinated or something. I don't know. I mean, Kylo Ren's arc felt cohesive, but Pryde would be great.
He also was a part of the Empire too at one point. So he had a cool background. He's kind of the Tarkin of this new movie, basically, and that's kind of what I was hoping Hux would be, but Hux just turned out to be a chump. So General Pryde would be kind of an interesting little character to add in here. But again, with them adding Hux, I don't expect them to add another First Order leader of any sort. We don't have enough characters to support it, but it'd be cool. Maybe Empire First Order synergy since he was part of the old and new Empire, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, that with Hux in the game, we probably don't really have a need for Pryde.
I would have rather got Pryde.
I really like the idea that you just mentioned, though, that he's kind of like the Tarkin. And this is probably the character. This is pretty much what I wanted Hux to be like. Yep. And so what they could have done is not included General Pryde and just had Hux not be a pussy.
Plain and simple. That's the best way you can put it, man. Yeah, that's probably, you know, I would have changed it that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has turned into our How to Improve Rise of Skywalker
it's
film.
gonna give me like a 30-minute video, so buckle down, people.
Here we go. All right, next up on the list, we've got Zorii Bliss. I actually really liked her character. I especially loved the gag with Poe and her. Poe's like, you know, you wanna, yeah? And she's like, no. And he's like, all right. I liked her character too, and she looks awesome. I think she could have some great synergy with some Resistance characters, maybe, or maybe she wouldn't be in Resistance. Maybe she'd be more like a standalone character. I like it.
My theory is she's Enfys Nest, just older. She'd be really old at that point, because Enfys Nest was shown before.
Her skin was very white.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. She was all right. I mean, she was just cool seeing Poe had a love interest. I wasn't like, it didn't blow me away like, I don't know, like a Padme line, but she was just a side character. It was all right. I liked she had a cool costume and all that.
I bought her a lot more than Janna. I didn't really like Janna as a character, although I did like the idea that they had fallen stormtroopers in there.
I do like that, yeah.
So,
I was kind of hoping she'd be related to Lando. Like, where are you from? That would have been kind of cool. Yeah, it kind of just seemed like they just threw her in there. But yes, Zorii definitely had a little bit better of a story arc than Janna.
It was kind of funny, though, because Lando kind of gave her this smile. Like, it was kind of like this, I might have kids out there somewhere. I don't know. The player that is Lando
has kids everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if Babu Frik was Lando's child, too.
Oh, my gosh. Babu Frik, we're going to talk about him in a second. Next up on the list is General Leia Organa. I think we need a General Leia in this game. I think she could be a great Resistance leader. We're kind of building out multiple
Jedi
Resistance teams.
Jedi tag? I don't know.
Maybe a Jedi tag? Oh my gosh. No, what I would really love is a Jedi Leia. But we only had like 1 second seeing her. Did you like that plot point, by the way?
You know, okay, it made me feel a little bit better, just a little bit better about Mary Poppins in The Last Jedi. I'm still not 100% satisfied with it, but it
did make me feel better about that, but I loved it personally.
Yeah, it's kind of cool seeing that Leia was a Jedi as well. I'm not sure to the extent of what her Force powers were. She died of a Force stroke, just like all the other Skywalkers for some reason. I don't know what is with the.
She became one with the Force.
She became one Force. Yeah. But it was cool. I was kind of nice. It's like, all right, cool. She's a Jedi too. It explains some things, and she was kind of training Rey. But again, I don't know how extensive were her Jedi powers. Like, is she? We've seen lesser Jedi teach other Jedi, so I guess it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, next up on the list. This is here 100% just because we like him. Babu Frik.
Babu Frik! Hey!
Dude, what is there not to love about this guy? Tell me what there's not to love about this guy.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just maybe he's just tiny. I don't know. Nothing's wrong. Nothing bad about being tiny. I don't know. It was just a fun character. This is your wild card that it's most likely Capital Games would not bring since it's not significant enough. But they added weird things like Biston from Rogue One, so there's always a hope.
If Biston is in the game, we can get Babu Frik, okay?
Or Pow, even worse, Pow.
Yeah, they brought in so much more from Rogue One. So here's all I want from the game. I gotta turn my music off on this video. All I want is this sound effect right here.
Smuggler and droid synergy, or like a scoundrel droid synergy or something like that.
Yeah, droid synergy would be good. Kind of like a, you know, I don't know.
His sound effect in the game when he's a support character, but when he uses one of his abilities, he's like, hey! You know?
Yeah.
5,000% turn meter granted to all droids and 5 bajillion damage.
It blows my mind that somebody actually upstaged Baby Yoda, but I think Babu Frik might have done it. All right, we got to round out this list. We got 3 left.
What do we got?
Number 3, Luke Skywalker. The old OG or old Luke Skywalker. How do you feel about bringing Luke into the game? I'm curious to hear your thoughts because I know you didn't like The Last Jedi. I did. But I think you weren't a huge fan of what they did with Luke in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite take on Luke.
I was fine with it, but I get why people feel that way. Did you feel redeemed for Luke in this?
Yeah, it felt more like the normal Luke. What are you doing? You know, like that. Like it felt more like what Luke was in my mind. So I like the way they did it. It's kind of cool, and he raised his X-wing from the water. It's kind of a nice little fan service thing they did there. I So they said that they could definitely dip into. They do plan on adding characters that span The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So there's a good chance Luke could come. I'm surprised we haven't seen a Luke, and I will be more surprised if we won't get a Grandmaster Luke of some sort, like the one kind of spanning
Grandmaster
back to Luke. Yeah,
Grandmaster Luke would be
good.
so good. It sounds right. It feels earned. And it's, to me, with Luke, something I like, because while I didn't mind what they did with Luke in The Last Jedi for the most part, the one thing that felt gimmicky and they did it for laughs that it didn't land was when he threw the lightsaber. Even though I hated that. Even though Luke, it made sense that he kind of had this bad taste in his mouth for the Force and for the Jedi based on what happened in his past to me. It kind of felt similar to what happened to Yoda. There's a lot of parallels there, in my opinion. I don't feel like Luke would have ever done that. And so I really liked the moment. Even though I love The Last Jedi, I loved the moment that Luke grabbed the saber and said, that is no way to treat a Jedi's weapon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That
felt redeeming for me.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with The Last Jedi. It starts you off too uncomfortable with that lightsaber throw, and it's like, oh man,
I agree.
we're in for a ride.
I think they didn't think. It felt like it wasn't thought through. It was just done for laughs, and that. I get it.
Star Wars can't be like Marvel. I know they tried doing The Rise of Skywalker. They tried getting these laugh moments. It's like they just don't feel as natural as Marvel. Like I've been bored the past couple days watching Marvel movies with my family. It's like, see, they get it right. They get the laugh moments right. The only funny thing I found in Rise of Skywalker is when everyone's looking at C-3PO. And he looks behind him, like not knowing that they're staring at him.
I love that moment. Anthony Daniels was amazing in this movie.
Yeah,
I loved him in this movie.
I could love C-3PO more.
I thought the comedy landed a lot better in Rise of Skywalker for me than it did in Last Jedi. That's a criticism I had of Last Jedi. I thought a lot of the comedy just didn't feel natural to me.
Yeah, especially to your mom joke or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like the prank call. I didn't like it. All right, here we go. Number 2, Ben Solo. With the blue lightsaber. We know we're getting a version of Kylo Ren, so I think this is unlikely, but how satisfying was it to see Ben Solo with a blue lightsaber fighting with Rey? I just felt like that, of all the things the sequel trilogy built up to, which weren't much because they weren't really that connected, this was connected. And The Last Jedi really drove that in, I felt like. And so it made for a very, very satisfying moment at the end there.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Be cool if they called it Ben Solo Redeemed or something like that.
Yes.
Just something about
Chills.
like the words redeemed, Empress, the Grandmaster. They sound so good to say. I liked everything what happened to Ben until he died. I was like, oh, come on, you guys kidding me here? But I get it. They're probably trying to delete all the Skywalkers from the universe. Skywalkers have screwed up the universe enough. We've had enough of you. Thank you for your time. But yeah, it was kind of cool seeing. I love the moment when Han came back and like talked to us. Like that was kind of
the acting in that scene was unbelievable. The emotion in Kylo Ren's face, Ben's face, as he kind of made that transition when he says dad, when he finally acknowledges Han Solo as his father. And you can just see, it was just so, Adam Driver is the best actor in this trilogy.
I'm sad they killed him off. It would have been cool that either Ben and Rey built the Jedi Order together, or Ben survived Rey and kind of trying to undo everything he did in the past. Or my best idea is Rey turns to the dark side, becomes Empress Rey, and then Kylo has to kill her off.
Just the old switcheroo.
Disney doesn't have the balls enough to do something like that. You need to have the girl to sell toys. So
my initial knee-jerk reaction with Kylo Ren dying was like yours. I didn't love it. I thought, man, they finally kissed. Like, what? Why?
I saw the movie 3 times. The audience reaction was always the same. They cheer for the kiss, then 2 seconds later, like, wait, what?
I've seen it twice. It was the same for me too.
I see hands being thrown up in the air. Yeah. And stuff like that.
But here's a possible explanation that I'm actually okay with, and that the Force is all about balance, right?
Yeah.
And the Skywalkers were so much the opposite of Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
And when Anakin joined the dark side, it threw off the balance, right? And he was working with Palpatine, etc. And then he kind of redeemed that, restored balance. And then Ben Solo turning to the dark side threw off the balance again, kind of thing. And so to me, when Palpatine was gone, it actually makes sense to me that the Skywalkers would all have become one with the Force at that point, because there's no longer that Palpatine, that threat for them to balance out. And so to me, it kind of made sense from a Force perspective. But from a fan perspective, I wanted him to live with Rey. I wanted them to make cute little babies, all right?
I want little babies. I want solo babies, baby.
Then you can do another trilogy about their kids, okay? And then another one about their kids. All right, number 1.
Here we go.
Number 1, Palpatine. I want Palpatine so bad. Now, we got 2 possible versions of Palpatine, both of which I would love. Number 1, and I think this is probably the one that has the most potential, is Palpatine hooked up to all the gizmos and kind of like the floating chair thing.
Yeah.
With the white eyes. And I think with him, you could have some kind of mechanic where he's able to suck the life out of people, kind of like a nihilist thing. How sick would that be?
That would be kind of cool. I mean, at first, I think Palpatine accidentally is like, oh, whoa, it's a diet in the Force. Wow, I haven't seen this in so long. So it's kind of accidental, but it was kind of cool seeing Palpatine. Like, it was zombie Palpatine. It could be like a raid boss, maybe.
Zombie
Palpatine.
Like ooh. Okay, Ray. Ooh, okay. Now we're getting real. You could have different phases. Now we could bring both of these in because I also wouldn't mind the post-life suck Palpatine with the black and red robes. Yeah. I thought that the look of his outfit there was super dope, and then the lightning strike in the sky was super dope. You could have multiple phases of the raid. I didn't think about that.
Maybe they said they're working on a new raid and it involves ships. So maybe you got all these ships trying to take out the Sith fleet. Then you got the phases with Palpatine at the end.
Yes. Do you know why this isn't going to happen?
Why not?
Because it's cool. It's not going to happen. Oh, man. All right, everyone. That's going to round us out. I'm curious, Arnold, before we close the video, what would be your, on a scale of 1 to 10, rating of Rise of Skywalker?
I'd say 7. I think 7. I'm safe feeling 7. Maybe 8 if I really think about it and try to make myself to like it more. But I think just 7. I think it was just too much, a little too safe. It was kind of the Return of the Jedi kind of repackaged a little bit, and I wanted the ending to be a little bit different. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't really have anything that I hated in the movie that much, like The Last Jedi. Good.
Okay. Yeah, I can respect that. I'm pretty much in the same range as you. I said in my video, if I was to rate it as a critic, I was right in the middle. I said about 7.5. But then I said, as a fan, 10 out of 10. Because I love Star Wars. just from a fan, I'm ignoring the criticism. I'm just like, I just want to love Star Wars. 10 out of 10. I left the theater happy.
There you go. I'm fine with that. If Star Wars is good, we're all good.
Star Wars is good. It's all good. Well, sorry for a long video, guys. We had a lot to discuss in this video. I hope you guys forgive it because I thought it was a good discussion. Arnold, it's been way too long. Thanks again for joining me for the video. Any parting words for the Cubs fan Ahnaldt101s out there?
Wail harder! If you're going to play Galaxy Wars, you got to wail harder. That's all you need to know.
Wail harder. All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining me for the video. And as always, my brothers, don't forget,
Greedo shot first.